My son started drawing pictures of our family vacations, but he's never been on any. I've always believed that kids see the world differently. Pure, unfiltered, sometimes a little too clearly. That's what I told myself the first time I saw Ethan's drawings. He was 6, quiet for his age, the kind of kid who could sit on the carpet for hours with a 64-pack of Criollas and not make a sound. I'd be in the kitchen, trying to make dinner out of whatever hadn't expired yet, and he'd be cross-legged on the living room floor, tongue sticking out the side of his mouth, scribbling like his life depended on it. The first picture that made me pause was taped to the fridge one Tuesday morning. It showed 3 stick figures on a bright yellow beach. The sun was a flaming orange circle with rays shooting out like knives. Palm trees leaned sideways. The ocean was drawn in thick, almost violent strokes of blue. One stick figure had long brown hair, me. One was tiny with black scribbles, Ethan. And the third was tall with a square head and a huge smile, a man. Underneath, in shaky capital letters, "Daddy took us to Florida." I left at first. Kids make stuff up. Ethan's dad, Caleb, died in a car wreck when Ethan was 14 months old. He has exactly 2 memories of his father. A blurry video on my phone of Caleb blowing raspberries on his belly, and a single photograph on the mantle of Caleb holding him the day he was born. That's it. Ethan has never been to Florida. Hell, he's never been out of Ohio. I peeled the picture off the fridge, folded it, and stuck it in the junk drawer with the dead batteries and half-used birthday candles. That should have been the end of it, but it wasn't. 3 days later, he brought me another one. This time, we were standing in front of Cinderella's castle at Disney World, Mickey balloons in our hands. Ethan had drawn himself on the tall man's shoulders. "Daddy bought me mouse ears," the caption said. I asked him, gentle as I could, "Buddy, who taught you to draw the castle like that?" He just shrugged and said, "Daddy showed me." I told myself it was YouTube or preschool friends. Kids parrot everything. But the pictures kept coming. Grand Canyon at sunset, Yosemite in the snow, the Golden Gate Bridge in fog so thick the bridge looked like it was floating. Every location perfect, every detail photographic, and every single one starred the same tall stick man with the square jaw and the wide smile. Daddy. By the end of the month, the refrigerator looked like a travel agency run by a kindergartner. I started hiding them in a shoebox under my bed because guests were beginning to ask questions I didn't know how to answer. Then the pictures started changing. One morning, I found a new drawing on the kitchen table before school. This one wasn't bright. The sky was black, crayon scratched so hard it tore the paper. The ocean was red. The 3 stick figures stood on the same yellow beach, but now the tall daddy had his hand around tiny Ethan's neck. My stick figure was face down in the sand. Ethan was eating cereal like nothing was wrong. "Sweetie," I said, trying to keep my voice level, "what's happening in this picture?" He didn't even look up. "That's the day 3 in Florida, Mummy, the bad day." I felt my stomach drop into my shoes. That night, I went through the shoebox and laid every picture out on the living room floor like evidence. 37 drawings, all different vacations, all with Daddy. I pulled up my laptop and started searching. Child drawing dead parent, grief hallucinations in children, imaginary friend or ghost. Nothing felt right. Then, on page 6 of Google, I found a forum thread buried in a paranormal subreddit. The title, "Anyone ever hear of the app Memory Lane?" The post was from 2019, user Traveling Man 82, wrote, "My wife and I used this weird beta app back in 2017. It was invite only, supposed to create hyper-realistic future vacation previews using your photos and AI. You uploaded family pictures, picked a destination, and it generated 360-degree VR tours of you could walk through with Oculus. Felt like you were really there, smelled the air, felt the sun, everything. We did one for Hawaii. It was incredible. Then my wife died suddenly, aneurysm. 6 months later, my daughter, age 4, started drawing us on that exact beach in Hawaii. Same umbrellas, same shaved ice stand, same everything. She'd never seen the VR tour. I never showed her. The app deleted itself from my phone the week after the funeral. Account gone, company gone. I think it kept the memories we made inside it, and now it's feeding them to her." There were 187 replies. Most called him crazy. A few said the same thing had happened to them. Different app names, Dream Trip, Forever Road, Echo Journey, but same story. Dead loved one takes the living child on vacations that feel real. The kids come back different, quiet, sometimes violent. One user wrote, "Whatever you do, the laptop don't let them finish the album."
Ethan didn't have a tablet. He didn't have internet access. There was no way. But that night, I heard him in his room long after bedtime, giggling. I cracked the door. He was sitting up in bed with the covers pulled to his chin, staring at the dark like someone was sitting on the foot of his mattress. "Who are you talking to, maybe?" "Daddy's showing me the mountains tomorrow, the big ones with snow. He says you can come too if you're not scared." I turned on the light. The room was empty. The next morning, there was a new picture. The three of us on a ski lift. Ethan had drawn me with no face, just a pink oval where my head should be. I took him to a child psychologist that afternoon. Dr. Patel listened, looked at the drawings, asked gentle questions. Ethan answered everything with a sweet smile and, "Daddy told me." Dr. Patel's diagnosis: complicated grief manifestation, possibly early childhood schizophrenia. She prescribed a low-dose antipsychotic and twice-weekly therapy. The pills made Ethan sleepy and quiet. The drawing stopped for 9 beautiful days. Then he relapsed worse than ever. He stopped sleeping, started drawing at 3 a.m. The pictures were no longer crayon. They were done in red and black marker, frantic, smeared like he'd used his fingers. And now every drawing showed me drowning. Sometimes in the pools, sometimes in the ocean. Once in our own bathtub, with Daddy holding me under while Ethan watched from the doorway. I installed nanny cams. Nothing. No tall man, no ghost, no intruder. Just my little boy standing in the hallway at odd hours, staring at my closed bedroom door, whispering, "Almost time, Mommy." I stopped sleeping too. One night I pretended to take my own pill, actually palmed it, and waited. At 2:14 a.m., Ethan's bedroom door creaked open. Bare feet padded down the hall. He stopped outside my room, pressed his mouth to the gap under the door. "Mommy, Daddy says the album only needs 1 more page." I didn't answer. "He says he promised the day you made the very first trip. You said, 'I wish we could go everywhere together forever.'" Ice flooded my veins. Because I remembered. 7 years ago, 3 months pregnant, Caleb and I drunk on cheap wine in our tiny apartment. He'd just been accepted into some beta test for a new travel startup. They mailed him an unmarked phone, preloaded with 1 app, Memory Lane. We spent the whole night picking dream vacations, Maldives, Iceland, Tokyo, Machu Picchu, uploading selfies, recording stupid voice notes about how we take our kid to every continent before they turn 10. At the end, the app asked, "Would you like to make these memories permanent?" We laughed and clicked, "Yes!" The screen went black, then 4 words in white. "Congratulations! Album started." We thought it was cute marketing. The next week, Caleb died on I-71 when a semi crossed the median. The phone was never recovered from the wreck. I sat up in bed, throat dry. "Ethan," I croaked through the door, "ask Daddy to come talk to me himself." Silence. Then the smallest, saddest voice. "He says he can't. Not until the album is finished. He's stuck between." I slept with the lights on and a kitchen knife under my pillow after that. 3 nights later, Ethan woke me at dawn holding a drawing so soaked in red marker it dripped on my comforter. It showed the 3 of us standing on the edge of a cliff at the Grand Canyon, Daddy's arm around me, my stick figure smiling, but my body was hollow, just an outline. Inside the outline, the canyon. Underneath, Ethan had written in letters for the first time, "Last page, come home, Mommy." I lost it. I grabbed him, shook him, screamed that Daddy was dead, that this had to stop. He looked up at me with eyes too old for a 6-year-old and said, "He's not dead. He's waiting. He's just waiting for us to finish the story." That afternoon, I packed one bag, buckled Ethan into the car, and started driving south with no destination. I figured if we never stopped moving, the album couldn't end. We made it to Tennessee before the car overheated on I-75. While we waited for the tow truck in a McDonald's parking lot, Ethan sat at a plastic table coloring quietly. I went to the bathroom. When I came back, he was gone. Just the drawing pad open on the table. One new page. Me, standing alone in the McDonald's play place, screaming. Behind me, tall Daddy with his hand on tiny Ethan's shoulder. They were waving. Goodbye. On the bottom, in my own handwriting, I swear it wasn't me. "Thanks for the memories, babe. See you soon." I ran outside. The parking lot was empty except for our broken car. No Ethan. No tall man. Just a single red crown rolling in slow circles on the asphalt, like someone had just dropped it. Police searched for weeks. National news, Amber Alerts, the whole nightmare. They never found him. Sometimes, late at night, my phone buzzes with a notification from an app I never downloaded. Memory lane wants to show you a new memory. I never open it, but I know what I'd see. A little boy on a bright yellow beach, building sandcastles with his father, waiting for Mommy to come home and finish the album.